Okay, looks like we are live. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Foundation Series. Keylonta with Lewis Oxley, Ishtar Greek Keepers Community. Focusing on mastery of Keylonta, self-love. Episode 6, out of the Postures of Love and Steps Towards Joy manual PDF book. I just want to give a minute or two for people to find the link and join in. And I see there might be someone that's joined us, unless it's showing me. But if there is someone, love it if you just say hi, introduce yourself if you feel comfortable. Obviously, if you don't, that's fine. But we love it when people can participate in the discussion whenever possible. Makes it much fuller, more meaningful. I'm going to wait one more minute. How has your week been so far, Lewis?
Very expansive, a lot of clarity coming in. Just overall a really good week.
Awesome.
How's your week been?
It's been good. The last few days, though, I feel like there's something up in the grids, very emotional. It's really hitting the D2 body in a very interesting way. So that's fascinating. But I'm 2 of my 3 signs are water signs, so definitely
be a bit emotional
going on with the
anyway.
emotional body. I definitely feel it. The person that hopefully is on that's not me, do we sound okay? I need a 5x5.
It's interesting that you talk about the emotional body, because what I've been noticing is it's, especially with the VB game program, it's like a switch, and you can kind of feel like when it switches on and when it switches off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just more of that awareness of going ping. Okay, I can feel it. I can start disengaging. I can cancel it all out and.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure. You want to start us off, Lewis?
Yeah, sure. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to who decided to take the plunge into understanding who we are as spiritual beings, living out the mechanics and manifestation of Keylonta. The primary resources used was The Posture of Love and the Steps Towards Joy, manual by Rose Tobing of the Kapara team by Azaric Press. This is an excellent summary of applying the freedom teachings in your daily life. I am in no way affiliated with Azaric Press or Erase Productions. The link to download the PDF is on the harmonizingjourney.com website on the HCR Seminars page. Please put questions and comments in the chat to share in the discussion. Also, please like and share and subscribe if you haven't already, because it just really helps us out. It gets us into the algorithm and whatnot.
And of course, welcome beautiful
me.
Lewis, Lewis Oxley, who is doing a lot with the old Freedom Teachings material on his Telegram channel, which should be a link in the description. Anybody would like to join that group to get more information. Okay, let me go ahead and jump in. We're still just showing one person, but we've got 4. We're into 4 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and start. All right. So, self-love, honoring the divinity within your eternal being is IAA, pages 19 through 24 for anybody who went on the website and downloaded the PDF. It's free. I don't have the rights to the book to have people purchase it from me. And at this point in time, at any rate, she doesn't have it for purchase. If she did, I would have had the link to her website. Arrayas Productions, or Bright Flower Studios is her new website for people that would like to purchase her material, which I highly recommend. Ashiana Dean Arrayas, previously Azurite Press, then became Arrayas Productions, and now she's moving to Bright Flower Studios. And I highly recommend her all that material that she has right now in Arrayas Productions. And hopefully on her Bright Flower Studios, she will actually have the KDDL 3 workshop for purchase, even though it's been over a year since that ended. But I highly recommend that material as well. Okay. Love is about harmonizing within the core of your eternal being. And looking at the image on the side, the first 4 shields and hova bodies, each with 3 signets and corresponding in a Kathara centers. So understanding that diagram is more than just mechanics, right, of manifestation diagram. Each of those centers represent a consciousness, and all those different density or shield circles represent a full state of consciousness that interfaces with the next level of consciousness, which is actually like spheres within spheres within spheres within spheres. We are a huge Rishi orb conscious being structure. And all those levels harmonizing together create our authentic identity. And that's how we can actually really love. But it starts within our eternal core, and honoring and understanding what that's about. In that process, judgment can either help you or hinder the process. Now, in the book, she really kind of harps a bit on judgment being not a good thing, but I think it's part of discernment skills, and part of understanding the harmonizing aspect is you're going to be harmonizing really, and I've been talking about this a lot lately, what I kind of refer to as the good, the bad, and the ugly. Good being when you're in alignment with your eternal being. Bad when you get a little off in the weeds. But you learn a lot when you're off in the weeds as an eternal being. You can then bring that knowledge back up within your core, within alignment. The ugly is when you get off in the weeds and then you make a conscious choice to stay in the weeds, and you build what I call, or be part, you either build or you're part of creating and developing and continuing what I call second creation finite mechanics. To Taurus, Flowers of Life, Fibonacci Spiral is that second creation finite mechanics, which I give it credit as a creation mechanics. Now it's the second creation because we have our first creation of our crystal spiral eternal being. And that's what we're working on moment to moment, day by day, to align back up with. And there's a whole bunch of mechanics involved with how we got disconnected off of it and mechanics to get back on. But that's when we're looking at the Kathara grid structure, there's nothing to do with the Fibonacci spiral. Well, there's a little bit to do with it. The Fibonacci spiral took that mechanics and deformed it and brutalized it and did their own thing with it. But this is where we're wanting to align with who we are, which helps us become, once again, perpetually renewing eternal beings. Not, there's eternal, and who has helped me? There's eternal, and then there's
eternal, perpetual renewal.
What a lot of seers and people that get into esoteric, they do to continue living a long life. There's, anyway, whatever that is. I wish there was people in the audience that would chime in what that is. Hopefully I'll remember in a little bit. Okay, so understanding judgment in itself is not bad. Oh, we got a number 2. Yay! Whoever you are that just hopped on, welcome. And we'd love to, if you would say hi and introduce yourself and give us a 555 and make sure you can hear us. Okay, we'll say a couple things.
Hello. I
Okay,
hope
just
you
make
guys
sure
enjoy
they
the
can hear
stream.
you. And any thoughts, questions, comments, anything to say? I'm totally spacing on. There's eternal, and then there's where you live a long time, but as opposed to
Finite.
being
Finite. Finite.
no, that's our terminology. Um, there's most people die, and there's that, and then there's a word for that, and then there's ones that live longer. Why I can't, but they're not eternal. But they live a long time. Anyway, whatever that word is. And but in that we are learning to through discernment, through judgment, through looking at the good, bad, and the ugly to see more of aligning to who we actually are, how to be in alignment when we're out in the weeds, how to get back, and the difference between first creation and second creation mechanics. All right. And in that stance of discernment, of aligning, being in alignment, learning about what self-love, what love is, because you have to love yourself before you can love anything else. If you don't love yourself, you aren't loving anybody else. You think that you might be, or you're mimicking what you think the behaviors are of loving. But until you truly know who you are as an eternal being, as IIA, and are standing within that and understand the ins and outs, or not fully, obviously, it's a process, but focusing in on that and being comfortable in your own skin. And in that, there's a state of dignity as you're learning that process and you're learning about self-love. And dignity is the quality or state of being worthy, honored, or respected. So just even though you may not know all the ins and outs of who you are still knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are to be honored and respected. That is so important. And standing in that. And I got that from the Merriam-Webster online dictionary. But yes, being in that state of worthiness, honoring yourself, honoring all levels of your being, respecting and appreciating, so huge. I don't know if people really realize how huge it is to just sit up straight, breathe, and just trust and be within yourself. And know that what you say matters, what you do matters. Did you want to add anything to that, Lewis?
I just wanted to kind of ask a question because as I was looking at the document, my awareness was just popping up that Honatillera code, and it kind of made me think because it's very simple. It's the same configuration as the Trifecta code, and I started thinking we've got Mane, Eerie, and Manu, and then we do have 3 types of love. We have tough love, soft love, and Omi love, or technically the 4th one, self love. So I was kind of thinking, is all these different types of self, so maybe tough love, could that be more Mane, for example? Could soft love be more Eerie? And then the Omi love would be the Manu, wouldn't it? Or do you think I'm just kind of blocking out my...
Because the Mane would need to be more expressive outward, and the Eerie would be more internal, soft.
Yeah.
And so, and a part of that tough love, the Mane, is that discernment, that judging, that determination of when somebody's acting a particular way. Are they hurting someone? Are they helping? What kind of behaviors are in alignment? What kind of behaviors are actually being expressing the virtues, the attitudes and responsibility of mastery that we have, which are actually in this particular document. So So yeah.
So in
That makes
theory, in
sense.
practice, I suppose that because EA always talked about in the earlier workshops that at any given time we can be running more Eerie or Manet, for example, and they're quite interchangeable. So that would also kind of mean that the different stances of love would also kind of change as we start to shift around.
Exactly. And harmonize, how to harmonize the two. Because the Manu, the 0 point, the Omni, is the form constant that balances the two polarities. In fact, the two polarities come out of that Omni, and then that Omni holds it. So that's that Ia holds that vibrational harmonization within our eternal being, the core. Actually, you could even say it comes up from the root, up the density planes you see on that chart, up, and then even higher up, and it expands out, right? The spheres within spheres. But you have to get back into that core center and understand it and learn about it and align into it. Anything else, Louis? And I'm assuming I'm not seeing from the two people, or at least one person that has joined in. If they want to add to that too, they're more than welcome. And when we're looking at the good, bad, and the ugly, aligning, so either in our eternal core, or we're a little bit off in the weeds, or we're getting into trouble way into the second creation mechanics. So when we go off in the weeds, what's getting in the way of us getting back in alignment? So that would be releasing the blocks. What is the mental ama, thought reality bubble programs? Because something took us out of alignment, right? What is that that's running? And we've got plenty of planetary programs as well as our own karmic patterns of thought reality, Keylonta coded thought reality programs. So becoming mindful that that's what that is. And that's part of the judging as well, discernment. Right now, these are the thoughts I'm having. Where are they coming from? What are they about? Are they helping me, hindering me? Okay. And many of them are what's called transparent beliefs that you took on, and actually that would be more another way of saying that transparent belief is a planetary program. We as a planetary consciousness just took it as reality, as rock bottom, and just assumed. I mean, I've been even hitting some realities recently that I thought was like totally like this is how it was, and realized no, that's not really real. That's just an idea, a program of what we thought reality was. Trying to think now what it was since I cleared it. That's another thing. When you clear these programs, they kind of go out of your head. The program was kind of what it didn't initially come in my mind this way, but really it is that program. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. In other words, when you do something for somebody, they in turn have to do something back for you. And I realized, and that can be a reality that people hold on to and make I mean, they have. That's a lot of programs are running on that. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. But how about another way of program that we could put in its place is, I really like you. I really think you're an awesome being. And I enjoy doing certain tasks and activities, and I would like to share that, whatever that gift is, with you, just for the sharing of it. If you appreciate it, that's awesome. I hope you grow from it or get something from it, but I am happy within that action itself. Now, there is a natural give and take within the crystal spiral, perpetually renewing. So by virtue of the fact that I did give just for the act of giving for its sake alone, at some point in my consciousness, in my template, there will be a natural reciprocal giving back, renewal, return from it, just from the eternal expression, because we are all Aya. But it doesn't have to be from that particular person that I had the interaction with. They don't have to be on the spacing on the word. They don't have to be karmically tied, right?
Yep.
If they want to give back, great. If they don't, that's fine. But they'll probably naturally, because if their life is enlivened, there'll be a natural point where they will give to someone. And I think that's awesome. But it'll be in their own time and space, naturally occurring, not forced and manipulated, which tends to be on this planet. Which then kind of gets us to one of the biggest stumbling blocks, and that is fear. And even underneath anger is fear. And fear really is when we stop trusting in who we are, when we get amnesic, when I'm saying that correctly, when we get in the weeds and we're not feeling the alignment of who we are. And if we choose to stay in fear and stay in the miasmic buildup that builds up around us, because being out in the weeds is not natural. It's part of second creation finite programs of basically finite existence, of having to take from others to be okay, because you're not in your eternal pillar anymore of aligning with the inflow and outflow of perpetual renewal. You're off working to vampire off something, control something to feel safe. And pretty soon, if you keep in that out in the weeds fear energy, you then build up enough negative karma to really align with the second creation finite mechanics, which is what, as humanity on this planetary density time matrix, we ended up doing. So again, it's going back into that thought reality bubble program, which usually has some kind of fear component most of the time. And we also have, I didn't put it beside me. We have to get up in a little bit and pick up my HDR Grid Keepers community, our HDR Grid Keepers handbook. Has sections in there in the back of ways that you can work on releasing your blocks and clearing. Because every time we have an emotion that we don't express, that we hold on to, which fear is, and anger, resentments we hold, they become miasmic dark crystal structures that get stuck in the physical body. The physical body is basically our D2 emotional elemental body, what we look down at. We're usually one dimension up from what we look down and see. So we're actually D3, but when we look down at our body, we see a D2 elemental body. And that, throughout our whole body, can hold different emotions, stuck emotions. And the releasing of those stuck, every time we release a stuck emotion and we tune into our eternal pillar and align, we're able to bring in more of our Aya eternal expression of who we are as an authentic being. I call it taking back residency. We're taking back that area that was miasmic, that the energy couldn't align into, can now align into. Because you always, when you release an area, most healers will tell you, when you release an area and it's clean and open, if you don't fill it with something new, something will fill it for you. And it may not be something that you want to have there. And usually they say source substance or, some kind of positive energy. But I say bring in your eternal expression to fill it up. Your consciousness, your awareness, who you are, to fill that up. So before you know it, your body is just going to transform, because now the cells are now embodying your eternal expression of your multidimensionality. There will be a natural shift. Did you want to add anything, Lewis?
Yeah, I've been pretty much experiencing the exact same thing. It's kind of like what you're saying, esoterical Christianity, where the sins of the father becomes the sins of the son.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you become more aware of all these different blocks that you have, it's really interesting because I've been looking at myself recently, all these different patterns of control and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm being just like picking it out, and I'm like, that's for my mom, that's for my dad, that's for my uncle, and it's all just all the stuff that keeps piling up from all the eons that we've been here, from the original human up to where we are now. Keeps us
Mm-hmm.
going. It's absolutely wild, but at the same time, I do want to really kind of stress this, that when we do the healing on ourselves, we also affect our bloodline and our family line and the larger collective. So really, the more that we keep doing this, the more that we're going to start clearing out our own family lines and hopefully start realigning, because we're very much connected into our ancestors, and all this stuff comes from the ancestors anyway. So when we start aligning them, then I suppose, I guess, if I cleared this whole thing with alcohol here that my dad has, then maybe my granddad and all these other, through clearing it, will also start to think differently in the past, and ultimately affecting the future. But I mean, that's just kind of my own theory at this point.
Yeah. People that do ancestor work, they look the burdens and the benefits of their ancestral lineage lines. So obviously, the benefits are the good karma things that the ancestral line created, and the burdens would be the blocks. The Keylon coded thought reality bubble, usually becoming planetary because they're so intense, but they're definitely going through the ancestral line. And our ancestral line, we have the blood, the bone, and the star. So obviously, blood is bloodline. Bone would be a particular ancestral geographical place where you have many people that were buried or transitioned into the earth, and maybe the bones are holding a frequency for those grids. And then, of course, the star would be more like the soul, oversoul, avatar, rishi, akasha. Bigger levels, all star systems alignments, and they all work together. They all align together. So yes, and when you focus on your healing, like Lewis was saying, when you clear your stuff, your blocks, and that clears, aligns in your more of your eternal being and come in your body, comes in and mixes with the blood and the bones. Those are your ancestors. So you are your ancestors. And so you're healing backwards and forwards through time because you're sitting in a moment of consciousness, but it is everything all in one time, the now. So you're affecting both all time and simultaneously within your eternal core, because the time is a construct that we create in this time matrix of a particular type of experience of do. So awesome, Lewis. Thank you. And of course, looking at the next thing is you create your reality. So there comes a time when you realize that the inside is more important than the outside. And even when it comes to spirituality, you need to take the focus away from the outside. And that was on page 21 in the book. So again, and I just kind of just said it, when you're focused in your eternal core, harmonizing within, really resonating, really feeling the self-love, because love is harmonization within your eternal being.
Hi, Missy.
Standing stable within that. The frequency, the vibration that you resonate with within that space, how you are resonating or harmonizing determines the karmic outpicturing. Is it going to be positive karma or negative karma? Are you going more out of your pillar into the weeds and building negative karma? Are you spending more time in your pillar and creating positive karma? And the out picturing is really, according to Keylonta science, is actually what's considered quote unquote the past. Because you actually lived the vibration, the frequency within your being of the feelings, the thoughts, the just the whole resonance of the different reality constructs within that core. And then it crystallizes and structures itself, and there's a whole densification process with creation that it then manifests around in the outer realm, because you have your inner core, or the core, the inner, the middle, and then the outer out picturing. So the more you go in the weeds and try to manipulate out that way, the more you usually develop negative karmic. And that's where second creation finite programs reality really comes into being. Now, again, when you're in the weeds, there's nothing wrong with taking the time and using your discernment, judging skills, and figuring out what's working, what's not working. And the more you breathe and align and understand, you can get back in and then learn and bring that knowledge for all eternal life. So again, your inner vibrational frequency tonal signature brings forth your reality. And again, with the little symbol there of this is a Viveka code, which is part of that code up in the top corner. But that code in the top corner is actually really the Trinity type consciousness. In the center, in the dark center of that code up at the top, Hanatalia code, as well as when you look at the Viveka code and you look in the center, when you're in your pillar, you're generating thoughts, feelings, actions, expressions. It all goes within that center, and it's almost like holding the intention, feeling the consciousness, all it aligns together, which when you're talking about your eternal expression, that's a whole different neuronal network. It goes much faster, right, than our 3D brains. So there's a lot going on higher levels as you do that holding within the area. And then when you breathe out, it goes through, when you look at that Viveka code of the Cathar structure, those energy lines and energy centers out pictures of a light body structure, and there's the counter rotating spirals, and then the form constant around it holding it of that third orb structure, holding it in place. We've in our harmonic universe 1, to a certain extent, I would say into 2, but predominantly into 1. We don't, with that Fibonacci 2 torus structure, it's disengaged from its Manu. The Manu would be considered also in our harmonic universe 1 matrix reality, or would be the D, believe it or not, would be considered the D1, the molecular structure, the root, the will center. It's within our atomic structure. There's something called a Manu window within each atom that is shut down. So there's a weird reversal energy and things not working right between the electrons and the neutrons, and the atomic structure isn't working as it originally was designed, and that's the Fibonacci mechanics that you see when you look under a microscope. So being able to get back out of the weeds, have those 2 counter-rotating spirals of conscious manifest realities, have that crystal spiral connection back again for that 0 point within the core, so that Manu window can open and align with the emotional elemental body and the mental body. And we can then align with the harmonic universe 2, which each, as you know, following the introduction to Keylonta, each density plane has a D1, D2, D3. And it just expresses within that etheric, either matter base, where we're at here, semi matter, density 2, harmonic universe 2, and then more etheric based in density 3, and then what we call liquid light, pale silver liquid light avatar expression, Maharata. And then we have our Rishi level is a more gaseous, and it's actually is around the whole Qatar grid structure of our matrix structure, holds the reality together. So it's formless. Okay. So, and then it's on and on. But anyway, you kind of get the picture. Lewis, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. I was just kind of looking at how you create your reality. I think that's very, very true. I know in the Voyages 2, the Secrets of Amente book, she really talks about this concept of looking at your past decisions, because like you said, the more that we go inside and we start to heal, the more our entire atomic structure starts to change. And by looking at different events differently, we can actually start to reprogram and recalibrate and realign those past events to move them away from this karma, from this mass karma that we have, and change the overall sphere of time and reality. It's kind of like having like a list of memories or little thought bubble crystals, and you're just picking one crystal out, and you're just picking one out, put the new one in, pick it out, put the new one in, kind of like a film strip kind of thing.
Yep. Hi, Missy. Welcome. It's been a while since I've connected with you. Yeah, she just said hello to you, Lewis.
Let me see.
Let's see. So yeah, thank you, and hopefully you'll add to the discussion, Missy. I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Okay. All right. And just focusing in back on the importance of discernment. Again, the good, bad, and the ugly. And crazy energy lately for sure.
Oh, wait, we've got some messages from Missy.
Okay, did I get it right? Very much crazy energy lately for sure. I was just talking with Lewis about that before we started. Very crazy, but it's okay, right? We learn our discernment, and
yeah, it's really interesting.
And we definitely, discernment is a must for sure. As we look at what's being in alignment, where we're going off in the weeds, and then what we've constructed in our world that's become ugly, right? The second creation of finite mechanics. And what we can all do, because we're all working on it, I don't care who you are, I don't care how wonderful and great you are. If you're here in this realm right now, you got shit to work through. That's all there is to it. It's a level. But once you can love yourself and treat yourself with dignity, you will find you will treat other people with exactly the amount of love and dignity you treat yourself. And that's on page 22. And what you mind matters. So again, going back to how you're feeling about yourself, how you're feeling of how you interact with others and how with yourself really governs to what's going to be crystallized and manifested around you. And The war is going on is ugly as above, so below. And I kind of with that, I'm thinking there's more going on with that than meets the eye with that. Um, but that's because I have been feeling over a period of time of my own discernment skills. I could be totally wrong. I like to also incorporate Tarot by Janine and John Claude Beyond Mystic, kind of what they've been kind of coming up with for the last few years is that I really feel that the Guardian Team Alliance is working with what I call the Earth Alliance. And some people also refer to them as the White Hats or the Trump team. The person that we see on TV that says it's Trump, it's not really Trump. Trump is more in the background working at a bigger level with the planetary structure. So all of what's going on with Iran and all these different things, it's really cleaning. It is a war, but it's a war of spirit. It's a war of information, of consciousness, of waking people up, of helping people understand the ugly that's been created over thousands of years on this planet and the beings that are behind the ugly. It's more than just because throughout history there's been periods, like Rome is an excellent example of different quote unquote emperors or dictators that came in and cleaned things up, and then things went to trash again because it got cleaned up, but then the people didn't understand their part in what they created in the reality. So right now there's a lot of things happening. I guess you could call it, the words that come into mind are a controlled burn, right? You still have shit happen, but there's a certain control to it because people have to see when that person does this or that politician did this, this is what they were really about, or that Hollywood person or whatever it's been. All these different people are getting outed. And I would say the bulk of the people in our government have little ankle bracelets on because they've been taken down. I think there's been a lot of tribunals, military tribunals that have been going on for the last at least 5 to 10 years, but most of them have been going on a lot lately. That's a lot of people have been taken into account by, I think, the Guardians. And it's been done both on world and off world. So I try to just, with the media frenzies that go on, I just kind of stay back because the war is being played out in the media. 99.9% of the time, what you get on CNN and ABC and all those outlets is a bunch of BS. It's the game being played out. And even a lot of the alternative media is questionable. So it's really coming back because all of that is the outer light body out picturing, right? We need to keep going in. We need to keep going. What is our programs? What are we creating within? Shifting that, going back within, focusing on that. And eventually, I always look at what's going on around me as what am I out picturing within that's really going on within me, and getting that cleared up. But that's kind of how I look at it. And I'm seeing, and I saw we had okay. And Jennifer.
We've got Jennifer as well.
Jennifer's with us. So let's see. There's a lot of comments here. Okay, so let's see if I can. I have clones. Yes, there is clones. There's mask wearers. I think there's probably more mask wearers than clones. I think there's a lot with CGI that goes on as well. Are we? Or did I? So are we in the out picturing of everything? There is definitely, yes, for sure. Yeah, there's the clones. And maybe it is everything, everywhere, all at once that was and definitely a movie's going on. Definitely a movie's going on. I hope I'm right too. Controlled burn. That's the reality I want to be working on. Uh, oh, okay, that was weird. Um, yes, discernment. We're on the page of discernment, the good, bad, and the ugly. We have that's what I get that the Earth Alliance with what they're doing is they'll throw something out there and they're controlled burn, but they're also seeing how are people reacting, how are people responding, are they just taking it as is or are they questioning? And when they question, definitely question, what's that about? What are you guys doing? What are you trying to do? Because remember, if we're talking about how we create a reality and working with the guardians, they're always working with us with the reality we're creating, what programs we're running. They can't just change our reality, right? We change our reality. But what they can do is they can put ideas, they can show, okay, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And then as a whole humanity, because there's so many mixture of different consciousnesses harmonizing hopefully together, that what can we create where it all fits together? And so I think a lot of that's been going on lately. Okay. And hello, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. You made it to the live. Yay. So yeah, you'll want to obviously watch it from the beginning when it's over, but so glad you joined in, Jennifer. Yay. Okay.
One last. Oh, we got another message.
Oh, did I just?
There we go.
Oh, is that a new one? Okay.
Yeah.
The outpicturing is getting more rapid. My discernment has collapsed many timeline frequencies that has caused me to move completely different through the timelines. Lifeline. Lifeline. Totally agree. I'm doing the same for sure. And I know Lewis is as well. And I know the Grid Keeper group is definitely, we've been shifting and growing. And it seems like every time we have a session and we work at something new, it shifts the timeline for again and aligns things differently. And I think we're just going to continue along that path of things shifting. And okay, is that the same question? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes. Oops. All right. Did you? I can't remember now. We've been talking. Did you want to add something more?
Yeah, I can add something. So in Beyond the Veils workshop, she always just talks about how in every now and moment we've got the higher spiral and the lower spiral. It's just really, really empowering just to be able to really figure out the ability and how to choose what timeline or what spiral do we want to be on in every moment. Are we choosing the higher one? Are we choosing the low one? And it's really figuring out, why am I choosing this timeline or the spiral to begin with? And once you really figure it out, you can, like you said, you can start to realign, you can start to celebrate.
Yeah. Right. I just looked at the time.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead, Liz. I'm sorry. I just looked at the time.
It's just really interesting what Missy's kind of talking about timelines and things, because I'm kind of noticing at the moment you've got this crystal spiral, but you've also got the net, and they're both like playing on top of each other almost. It's kind of like I'm existing in two realities at once. The reality where the mainstream media is pushing food shortages and all this bloody prices of fuel, and people are panic buying fuel and all this other kind of stuff. But then I'm kind of living in this other timeline where I'm getting food, I'm getting reasonably priced gas and kind of everything in between. But when we look at the mechanics and things in terms of the bigger out picture, and we've got the chevrons and the trumpets and they're both battling each other out constantly. So it's kind of like from November to May, the trumpet is going to be gaining momentum, causing a bit of chaos depending on what kind of dimension it is on. But from May onwards, going into November, the chaos is going to start kind of, I suppose, getting eaten away. I suppose. I don't really know the mechanics of it, I suppose, but yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Yes. And that's another thing is the more we get into our eternal core, the more we line up with the bigger parts of ourselves that are coming in right now. The Alhambra, the Yusithre, the Urea, the Aria, and we can, and there's so much happening. And also, Seth, I think, was very good with Seth Material by Jane Roberts. The probability timelines, we kind of do a lot of this backwards and forth, or maneuvering in and out of different, it's like a spoke of a wheel. Every thought brings out at least 12 different possibilities and how they intertwine with each other. And the one I think we put the most energy in kind of solidifies a bit, but we can always shift a little bit.
I'd like to add one last thing as well, just to
go ahead.
expand. So anybody that's kind of interested in all this timeline wars and everything else, here she talks about in sliders 3 and 4, she goes really into the timeline maps. And it's really, really fascinating about how all these different timelines kind of overlap in things. So if you're interested in that, then that's where, just for reference.
Okay, Missy's asking, what is your feeling on this that I got? What is your feeling on this that I got? A Stargate 2. Interesting on that. Dark Flower. Last year when I was in Florida near Mar-a-Lago, I felt Stargate 2 in the Gulf of America had been temporarily moved to PB, Florida?
Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, okay. I'm getting a yes on that. And actually, we've been doing on our end with our group, working on the Amenti Flame 2 on the what we call the Aurora platform structure. That you're totally right. There was a compromise. It went really dark and bad. Lewis was getting the blue sword. Energy was part of it. Just all the history that we've had on this planet and issues and problems. It's just been so much miasmic buildup. It's been really hard. But there's some stuff that we did to kind of bypass and clear and work on it. And I feel like right now with what I've been feeling the last few days is a lot of emotional body energy stuff going on, but it feels like it's stuff that's clear, but it's realigning, so it just feels a little weird and off, but it's different, but it's, I think, a good thing. I think that there's some healing that's going on, but yes, you're right. You did pick up, there's some real serious issues with the D2 in our realm. But it is in the process of being worked on. So, yes. Did you want to add something to that, Lewis?
Nope.
Okay. And then I noticed that, okay. Okay. Yeah. And then also feel something happened in Paxos, Greece. Also, I am called to go to Greenland to connect with the ice. I get a yes on that. That's beautiful. That'll be awesome. As far as connecting with Greenland. Paxos.
We did something there.
When you say something happened, was it a good thing that happened or not so good thing that happened? I feel like it's going through something. I do feel it's going through something. Yes, because it's okay. Yeah, it's part of what we were dealing with the D2 because of the work that was done in Paxos, Greece in 2003 that was dealing with this problem with the Amenti Flame 2. Yeah, but it's going through some healing. even when in SC, I'm assuming that's South Carolina. And I also get photos of the aurora borealis lately, even when in, I'm going to say that South Carolina, they talk to me. Well, definitely, yes, for sure. Wood fur. Okay. And interesting on that. We were working on that as well. There was a problem there in the reservoir area of her diagram, her image that she painted. There was something that we worked on with that too. So yeah, you're picking up totally correct. Awesome. I'm going to go on to the the next thing. I guess we're going to go over the hour if y'all are okay about that. I'm okay with that. The Ark of the Covenant of Love, page 21. They want us, okay, so that's going to connect in also with the Azure. So they want us to think of the rainbow, or the bow is the ark, and it is a covenant of love that was made eons ago with the creation of the human races and of the guardian. I'm going to have to of the guardian races that are of different sorts, a covenant of love between the races. So again, kind of looking at the image with the domains, the form constant holding that Cathara grid structure together, and then the crystal and all those different, each Cathara grid has an orb structure around it. So just imagine all these spiraling orb structures of alignments all interfacing together, creating one huge orb structure of the crystal spiral. And as you know, but some others tuning in may not know, the Azure, right around the thymus area, between the throat chakra and the heart chakra, is our 8th chakra area as well here. This is our throne of power. All the different Cathara grid structures that represent each density plane amongst many other structures, but all these all are different selves, all that I'm showing with that domain structures. All of them interface at that point. So when also part of aligning into your eternal pillars, aligning with that structure with your heart, your throat, all of the central body current chakra systems align with that central body current or pillar of power. It's another term that's used. When you can get into that consciousness within that space is really, really huge. Did you want to add something to that, Lewis?
No, thank you. We've got a lot more messages as well.
Okay. Let's see. So the Lost Sea in Tennessee has been coming up a lot. The biggest take that connects to the inner earth. Yes. I get a yes. Yes. Cool. Which Tennessee, by the way, is not far, is, kind of interfaces kind of where I'm at. I'm in Georgia. So we're kind of in that network. And let me tell you, there's a lot under my property, by the way. So yes, there's a lot that interfaces where I'm at. Speaking of discernment, by Jennifer, I have been given a name, a gnosis. Ari, should I continue with the download info I'm giving or not? The way I kind of feel is when you're tuning into it, do you feel like safe? Do you feel in alignment? Can you breathe as you're tuning into it? If you feel in alignment with it, then continue with it. When you start feeling out of alignment with it, step back, feel out, use your discernment to go, what am I feeling off with? Is it something I just don't want to hear and I'm fearful of it? Or is there actually something off with it? And you're just going to, over time, feeling it out. But I would say, I'm getting a yeah that it's okay to continue with it, but you've
Wow.
got to feel it out for sure. But I'm getting yeah, you're probably okay. Okay.
I just want to kind of add something.
Okay.
When I was kind of tuning into that name, it was like this little symbol popped up. It was like a little golden code. So maybe it might be something she wants to just tune into. But it's a really powerful code. It's like a
Yeah.
golden.
Yeah.
It seems like it might need a bit of cleaning up though. There's some. I don't really know what it is. It's like a nice golden code, but there's like little bits of black on it. So maybe it might be something that needs cleaning off. But
There you go. Kind of go in, move slow, feel it. Where you feel there's good stuff, and work. Where you feel something's off, tune in. What is it is that's off, and what whatever it is that you utilize to clear stuff that's off, clear it, and then see if you can go deeper with it. For sure, sure. Okay. Did I find it? That one? No, that was lake. Where did it go? Is that it?
oh wow,
Yeah.
something else.
Oh, yeah. You've invited. Yeah, Missy's invited me to her property. One of these days, I'll make it to your property. For sure. But I'm just not much on traveling physically these days. I thought there was a message that I saw that was, no, maybe not. Maybe they took the message off. There was something about it. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
we've got another one.
The Lost Sea in Tennessee has been coming up a lot. The biggest lake that connects to the inner Earth. Yeah, yeah.
We got
And
another
then
message.
yeah, and then there's the last message. Okay. Um, Yes, I feel lighter, healthier, and very calm. Some of the info is not so happy, but needed. Yes, oh my. It's almost the shape of an Egyptian ankh, gold and silver. Cool. Yeah. So that is a tricky code. I'm not going to front. The ankh is a tricky code. It is one as a symbol code to be really careful with, right? Because of the Egyptian and all the Anu and all that. But it also, I think, has to do with the rod, not the, is it the rod or the staff that's been used as the rod or staff? I'm spacing on which
It's
one.
the rod.
Rod. So, and if you've got work that you've done with it in the past, there's maybe karma that you want to clear in regards to using that particular tool, and then you may be able to use it in a more powerful way. And it also represents as well you internally, right? Your internal ankh.
It's like
Train goes
there's
from Savannah to Charleston now. Okay. Cool.
the more she links in with that code, it's like this television screen that's popping up, like this big screen, and
Uh-huh.
then it's like I don't know what I'm seeing. It's just this giant television screen, and it's just in front of me. So I don't know what that's all about, but
Cool.
anyway.
Well, are you guys friends? Are you friends with Missy?
No, I know Missy. I don't really
I
speak
know.
to her
I know
too
you know
much.
Missy. Are you on friends on Telegram?
Uh, I'm on
Maybe you
Facebook with
guys
her.
can talk more on this because it sounds cool. Like you guys are both picking up on something, so that's awesome.
Oh, Jennifer, there we go.
Anyway, I want to. I didn't really want to. I was just saying, if you guys
Shut
are
up, Bob.
friends, I think you probably are. Could become Telegram buddies. Would be awesome. So I wanted to go to focusing more again on the eternal the eternal internal flame of God consciousness. Again, on page 24. Within the azurite, within the azurite crystal, lies the throne, again, throne of power, the center point of the embodied Ek of God's seed, through which the eternal flame of Amaria embodies. The center of the Amaria crystal sphere, to the gateway of eternal Christed love. You have entered the place of your eternal birthright. You have entered the hallowed ground of your original divine heritage as a living expression of the one God source, the Amaria egg. Within the Amaria gateway and Manu Azurite flame is the eternal still point through which, and I can't see what it says. Hold on. Maybe if I do that, I can see. There we go. Within the Amaria gateway and the Manu Azurite flame is the eternal still point through which the still small voice of the God self within something I can't see because my little scroll thing is at the bottom. But anyway, so again, yes, making that alignment, making that connection, clearing whatever karmic stuff that you might have going on with that connection is really important. And the flame body, kind of utilizing the flame body technology is pretty good, but also utilizing the plasma with it is really good. Did you want to add something to that, Lewis?
No.
And what I think I'm also going to do, guys, with Missy and Jennifer, keep saying your comments, but I'm going to just finish this material, and then I'll finish up on the different discussions, because the discussion doesn't really pertain to the topic, but it's discussion that we'd love to have. So let's see. So in conclusion, life is lived timeless within the internal, eternal core of your multidimensional being. You live within that quiet still point within. When you focus outside of that place, you end up in the weeds of second creation finite mechanics, of the pain and suffering of chaos. You can only give what you have given within yourself to be outpictured. So again, and it's not that it's bad, because bad's not ugly, right? When we get a little bit off, we experience what we need to experience, we become in alignment, we integrate it. And even when we go off into the ugly, there's a lot that we learn from the ugly that we then right in breath, backflow, return back into our eternal core. And just be with it. And again, even with the judgment, it's not blame, shame judgment. It's just discernment judgment. It's learning. It's awareness. Because Source, as Aya, never wants to just stay within the 0 point, right? Of just sitting, being om. It likes to breathe out, expand, create, do things, and then in-breath back in, process it, integrate it, create again, and express that outward. It creations outward. It's continuing in-breath, out-breath process, right? And just for everybody that would like to tune in and learn how to tune better into their eternal pillar of IA, within their plasma body consciousness of their spirit body. Private sessions are available as we connect into our personal pod space, connect with the Elysian Flame, connect to our pod at Sanctuary Island, and then make our way into the Crystal Caverns, and initially working in the Crystal Caverns, and then eventually making it up into Rare Earth. And then we also have our HDR Grid Keepers Community Membership Program. So we work with that, with creating our personal pod space consciousness and the mechanics that go with that, and creating with, again, starting out in the Crystal Caverns, and then you make your way up into your Rare Earth, and we are working with a lot of interesting, fascinating mechanics. Let's see, Urea Lake Conservatory and all of that, of the pan frequencies and the guardians that go with that. So it's been really fascinating, and hope that you all would like to join us. Would be awesome. Lewis, did you want to add anything?
No, thank you.
And then, and for those that like to have a book to utilize, the HDR Gatekeeper's Handbook is definitely something that you can utilize to go through a lot of do it on your own. And if you ever want to join the community to get any questions answered or have a private session, by all means, to integrate the information or fine tune, would love to have you. And of course, my Waking in Alania book series, newly inspired sci-fi fantasy series about who you are as a spiritual being living in a multi-dimensional biospiritual universe or existence. And so started out first book on pre-cataclysmic Terra of that world, and then what happened when it ended. We've got Ganado, or Ish anyway, Bindi, Lion, and then the second book is modern times around the 2012-2013 period of changes that went on with that and going into Inner Earth and the crystal network, crystal network caverns, Inner Earth caverns and stuff. That mechanics and what went on with that, and connecting them to Keylonta, which is really the Alhambra. It's just kind of a fun book. And I am working on the third book. It's actually getting there. I'm on chapter 2. So it's working. I'm working it, baby. And just wanting to, actually, before I do that, just a reminder, just thank you for watching. Really appreciate those that have, looks like we lost the bulk of the people. Again, I'm going to finish up the discussion, but please like this video. I can't tell you how much it helps when people like. Share it to anybody else you think would be interested in the information. Subscribe to the YouTube channel or even the website would be awesome. I'm not monetized by YouTube, so donations are greatly appreciated, and all that is going to be in the description box below, as well as the links for the HDR Gatekeepers community, private sessions, and purchasing Waking Alania material. And actually, the Gatekeepers Handbook, you go either in the private session link or the Gatekeepers link. There will be a link to purchase. And for those that do the PDF, you just got to make sure you have PDF reader so you can read the PDF. And then as far as scheduling, the introduction to Keylonta episode 7, it will be on the 14th, next Tuesday at 1 p.m. EDT, 6 p.m. BST. We will discuss part 3, the council domains, again, pages 78 through 83 of the Voyagers 1, the Sleeping Abductee book. And then the HDR Insights Terror Show on the 28th. Again, it won't be. I've changed the time because I've been finding that the time I was looking to do it just wasn't working for most people. So we're trying this time out so we can get Europe, because that seems to be most of my people seem to be from Europe. So hopefully 6 p.m. will work for people. And for the May, so the 28th for the May forecast, energy forecast, as again, disengaging from the crystal spiral, or disengaging from the Fibonacci spiral onto the crystal spiral is what we're working on doing. And then the next Mastery of Keylonta episode 7 will be May 5th, again at 1 p.m. EDT, 6 p.m. BST. Our relationship with Source comes first, pages 25 through 27. Okay, so oh, wait a minute, that's okay. Hold on.
Let's see. So what message?
So we had, right.
But
I'm thinking we only have one person that's showing, so they want to say who they are.
I'm assuming it's Jennifer because Missy.
We think
It's
we
great
lost
to connect
Missy.
with you guys. I'll have to listen to the rest later, but I think Jennifer's still.
Okay, so it's okay, Jennifer. All right. Yeah. So I wanted to go to. There it is. So longer than an awk, because we're talking about this symbol code Jennifer's looking to create. So it's longer than the awk, more of a teardrop. Oh, awesome. That's better. Okay. Thank you for your clarity. Sometimes 3D confirmation helps. Definitely, for sure. All right. Next was. Okay. And then that was Missy. Great to connect with you guys. I will. Okay. So, all right. And then from the 0 point, play becomes growth. So fun and exciting for me anyway. Yes. Yes, me too. Me too. I definitely, when you can get into that 0 point and have that expansive consciousness and just have everything just sort of come in clarity around you. And yeah, and just have things crystallize in the outer realm, but you're still viewing it productive. Whenever we can stay in that 0 point within our core, seeing through those physical eyes into what we create around us, as well as through our third eye, going with that inner connection is awesome. Lewis, I want to put my experience into Telegram and get others' opinions. Where should I put it? What topic? I guess she's referring to your. Is she referring to your Telegram group?
The only Telegram group I have now is the workshop vault. But I mean, you should definitely direct to
there's Christopher's group. Are you a member of Christopher's group?
I think that'd probably be the best place because I don't run any groups anymore.
Has, I think it's Chris Community or Community.
Chris Community 2.0. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. You probably want to connect into that one and look at all those different topics and just, feel out. I wouldn't put it in the general introductory part because that's where newcomers come to land. So you don't necessarily want to put it there. But however it correlates, whatever topic that you have.
Didn't he used to have like a discernment or comparative?
Yeah, chaos discernment one is good. I have my Telegram group, Harmonizing Journey Telegram group. You could become part of the chat with that and you could express yourself there. But it's a very small group. So I don't know how much feedback you would get, but you're more than welcome to join that one, Harmonizing Journey Telegram group. Yeah.
If you want to message me privately, I'm more than happy to.
All right.
There we go, one more. Jennifer. Okay, because I have the workshop vault and some shows as well. Okay.
Okay, because I have the workshop vault and several others. Okay, so yeah, the Harmonizing Journey Telegram has a chat. You just got to sign up, click on, you want to join the chat. I guess it's called Harmonizing Journey Chat. I think that's what it is. So yeah, to do that. And connect more with that would be more wonderful. And then, of course, we'd love to have you in the Grid Keepers community when you get to that place that you can do that. That would be awesome possums. I think $10 a month is pretty reasonable.
Oh, it's a good value.
I think. What is it for you in your money?
$7.99.
$7.99. So for your international folks, $7.99 is not bad. And we meet 3 times a month, 2 times for a journey, and 1 time for a monthly discussion. And I might even be adding more to that because there's just so much to do. And then when I do have classes in the future, I'm going to be doing some kind of workshop, online workshop. Grid keepers will get a huge discount as well as the private sessions get a 30% discount. So yeah, it's well worth doing. And then thank you kindly. I will definitely do so. You guys are much appreciated. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Yes, we do need to stop because there's something else we'll be doing in an hour and around 40 minutes. So I'm going to get some food. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and all that joined, and Missy when she watches back again. And I know there was, I think, another person that didn't want to talk, but that's okay. Welcome. I'm glad you were here. And future people watching, thank you. Love you.
Yes.
Bye.